Michael and Leanne have a beautiful piece of property that they share with their horses. But they felt like the front of their house lacked the visual appeal that the land it sits on deserved. The walkway to it was incomplete and unattractive, while the front porch was a sea of dingy paint stuck on the front of a white house. There was nothing to draw you in or make you feel welcome. But now, the front porch is freshly painted, and even though we only added a little gray to the mix, there's enough contrast to give the space some personality. The rotten wood and peeling paint are all gone, and so is the poorly poured sidewalk. In its place is a symmetrically arranged walkway of 12 stepping stones that create a graceful transition to the front porch steps. The porch that once had no greeting for guests now invites you to pull up a chair and enjoy the view. And we did it all for less than $400 in materials. Jerry and Shay have a beautiful backyard with great shade trees and lawn. But the old fire pit had seen better days, and the existing patio offered limited opportunities to enjoy the outdoor space. It was too small for entertaining, and the monotone color palette lacked any interest. But now, the whole backyard has come alive with the addition of a big new patio that complements the shape of the trees, while it enjoys their shade. The large format pavers make the patio seem larger than it actually is, and the new fire pit is the ideal spot for entertaining. There are 2 large steps that create a very graceful transition to the old patio, which has been revived with a new shade of stain and a bold color on the doors. And that same color on the storage shed, plus some simple landscaping, has transformed this yard into a spot you just can't wait to enjoy. Chelsea and Brandon's bathroom is 65 years old. At that age, there's some baggage, like the pink tub and the lack of ventilation. The vanity was newer than that, but it really didn't fit the style of the room, and it lacked character. But now, the room is overflowing with character. Wraparound wallpaper not only creates the jewelry box feel that Chelsea was after, it also makes the pink tub look intentional. The vent fan makes the space more functional, and the larger vanity makes it easier to use. Plus, its black finish complements the room style, and the new bidet toilet seat elevates the whole room to a spa-like experience. Grace and Corey's extra bedroom was just that. It lacked any real identity. The hardware and paint color left by the previous homeowners didn't make the welcoming statement they wanted for their guest. But now, the room has a clear purpose, and that's to make guests feel right at home. The board and batten accent wall draws you into the space, and the custom trim around the windows tells you they were intentional about making this room nice for you. The floating shelves and nightstand are functional for short-term guests without taking up as much space as larger pieces of furniture. And the warm wood tones complement the cool green accent wall, just as the gold wall sconces do. And we did it all for less than $500. Delaine's breezeway is the main entrance to her home, but before it had a very tired and haphazard feel to it. The random collection of different slabs on the floor only left visitors with questions about what the space was supposed to be. The sad, empty planting bed just made the house feel a lot older than it actually was, and the chain link fence made it feel more like a cage than a relaxing space. But now, the whole space is taking on the feel of a courtyard in a fancy hotel. The consistency of the stenciled floor ties everything together, from the wrought iron gates to the lush green planting beds. The door adds a pop of color, while the fountain adds a cool visual element as well as a peaceful soundtrack for the space. The simple curtain rod and the curtains frame the backyard and somehow makes it all feel like a resort. And we did it all for less than $1,200.